Sorry about that.
It's okay. I'm sorry, I'm gonna talk too much. You cut me off. Dr. Archer was on the board, and so he became my doctor at that point. And it was wonderful to have an adult doctor that I could talk to that spoke to me as an adult. Anyway, I still see Dr. Lucy when I go up there. He's still hanging around, and he's quite a figure. But I was fortunate to get in with Dr. Archer because he is absolutely the best. Okay, my art. I've always been a right brain thinker. Too much so, actually. Math is a problem. But I think I really started getting into creating things, just creating things,
Right.
when they started me on OT when I was in the hospital. They started me on just a little plastic, little, I don't even know what you would call it, a little plastic little needlepoint something, little,
Right.
I think it was a bumblebee or something, I don't know, just some little something to keep me mobile, keep me going, keep my brain going. And from there, I went on to doing all kinds of handcrafts, needlepoint to latch hook to all that stuff when I would come home, just to keep my brain active and to keep, when I wasn't walking, when I wasn't down, to keep me going, to keep my brain happy. And I always loved doing it because I always would make up my own patterns and not follow what, anyway, just kind of color outside the lines a little bit.
Right.
But also played the piano a lot. That was my love. Before I became ill, I played, oh my word, I played in the guilds and all that stuff, and really played the piano. And I still played when I could. I played the piano as often as I could. And played it until we moved from our home in Foxcroft, which was about 10 years ago. Left my piano, and now I have another piano, but I've lost a lot of agility and lost a lot of muscle memory. So piano, I missed that part. I've missed the music. But the painting, painting, I always had an interest and fascination with it. So I had it in high school, and I'd had a homebound teacher, so I could do projects and stuff, whatever I needed to at home. And I did a lot of drawing and sketching and stuff like that. And in college, same thing. I took photography and got real interested in photography. And art. I was just fascinated by it. I just loved it. Now I don't see myself as naturally talented at it and gifted at it as some people who can just sit down and.
Right.
I don't feel like that's me, but I like to create.
So do you think it started as almost an escape from?
Absolutely, I know it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what basically started the ball rolling.
I think it started the ball rolling. Yeah, I needed to not think about what was going on with me.
It's almost kind of like a diversion.
I needed the diversion and I needed the creativity. I needed both those things. That's how I'm wired. I need to be creative and I need to have something else on my mind besides what's happening.
Right. And so in this class we've looked at how, art can be used as expressive and therapeutic, and it sounds like those kind of went hand in hand.
It went hand in hand. When the first time I ever became bedridden from MS was my father became ill with his heart. He had his first heart attack was in his 30s, and he had a lot of heart problems. But I was 35, I'm 50 now. So 15 years ago, I guess, we stayed with him in the hospital for a full 7 weeks. We never went home. We slept there. My sister, mother, and I we've kind of always done hospitals with his heart and my health. We've been in hospitals. But when he died, I was down for the count. Physically, from staying up and no sleep, and emotionally down. And I started in earnest, drawing, sketching, everything I could get my hands on. I have Santa Claus out there. I've got that was on the cover of a Land's End catalog, just charcoal. First it was charcoal and pencils. and I still love that. I still love black and white. And pretty soon after that, I got real interested just color of any kind, just rich, bright color. I went and moved to acrylics. I don't know. I just could. I needed it. I needed to do it. In the meantime, though, I used to decorate homes, and that was the other part of my creative because I could do it on my own schedule and I could do it when I felt well. And I wouldn't decorate as most decorators. I was kind of a budget decorator. I would take people what they had and reshuffle it and make it look more like new. But the art part was what was always so fun. Is because I would take frames of, I would go to, used to be a framer had this really, really ugly art, but they had it in gorgeous matting, and the framing and the matting is what's so expensive. So I would spend a bundle on buying up pictures and then putting their kids' artwork in it, or putting artwork that they had that needed framing or reframing. So that I kept feeding my art interest in other people's art, and keeping I don't know, those just tied real closely together, because I needed the creativity of redoing homes until Dr. Archer. I moved a baby grand piano with one other person to 4 corners of a room one time by myself with another 5'2" girl, and he told me I couldn't decorate anymore. I couldn't do that anymore. So then it was down to painting for sure. And I would paint and people would buy it. I just word of mouth. I don't do water. I don't do oils. I'm dying to take classes again. And I don't do watercolor. But I've done everything from mixed media to charcoal to acrylic, everything. Your parents' piece of art was one of my very favorites, though, because that's the first time I'd ever done a family. Well, family's just everything to me. And being able to use different papers, and your mother had handed me a picture, and I thought, I can't do that. I don't think I can do that. But it looked to me like there were things hidden in it, so I just took liberties and did my own thing. And I don't know if y'all like it or don't. I hope so, but it was
for sure.
It was one of my very favorite things to do. I will never ever do a 7-foot painting again. I can tell you that. I will never do that again. But I loved that. But as far as after we moved to our last home 8 years ago, the move put me in bed, and my health really took a big downturn. I went from occasionally needing to use, now from that bedridden time, I bounced back. I got back from that, but I always have to use IV steroids. Would have to do a week of IV steroids to get over it. Those are really, really. I don't know why anybody would do that to themselves on purpose. Take steroids because they're terrible. But after we downsized and moved to that home, I don't know if it was. It was a combination. It was probably a combination of being in bed, moving from just crutches once in a while to a cane, to a walker, and before I knew it, I had a wheelchair. So into depression, and I had no place to paint. I had no space that was great. Before I had a whole room that I could keep everything out and cover it